Okay, so we just got out of Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. It's a kind of a heavy time energetically in the planet. Ancient scribes believed that the birth of the world took place on Rosh Hashanah. So it's kind of like the birth of the Big Bang, right? So we theoretically, in Kabbalistic terms, we're always returning back, spiraling back to these vibrations, these energies, and then forever trying to perfect them, like how the United States, the more perfect union. The same idea exists with tikkun olam, or the fixing of the world. We are all here to fix the world. We're all here to contribute in some wonderful way. And nobody can tell you what that's going to be or what that's going to look like. But the first question I want to ask people before I give this remote viewing is, are you doing everything that you can to take care of yourself? That's the first question we all have to ask ourselves spiritually right now. Before we even get into politics, just the meditations I've been feeling the last couple of days. I'm a professional. Um, I feel like a lot. Are a lot of you feeling like? How's your power? Are you feeling? Anybody feeling fragile right now? Anybody feeling like you have no power? Like you're fighting against evil by yourself? And it's me against the world, and I don't know if I can continue to, I mean, like just overwhelmed by everything, right? So that's kind of the energy I felt. And not just with me, but with clients, people coming into session, is evil always wins. It's a interesting energy we're kind of coming into. So basically the message from spirit is, before you try to take on the world, take care of yourself. It's really important right now for you to pull back from the voices of the world and instead take care of your spiritual well-being. So things to be mindful of at this time as we go into the winter months, as we're progressing in this energy. Be mindful of what you watch on television. Be mindful of your news sources in the coming months. Limit the amount of news, particularly negative news, you hear. Don't spend hours watching a tornado, all day long listening to the hurricane news. This stuff gets in us. Be very judicious with what you take in and the dose you take in. Just be aware that the images that you are taking in are having a dramatic impact on your mental health. The other thing that's starting to happen is that many of us may start to feel like we're so wiped out emotionally, we're barely holding on emotionally, financially, that we have nothing left to give to anybody else. And everybody is so desperate. This is what Los Angeles is like. For at least it was for me. Everybody was so hungry, so desperate, so insecure that any slightly compassionate person would be gobbled up, right? So that's, in Buddhist terms, the world of hunger, right? Where everybody's hungry, like the addict who can never be satisfied. They're always looking for the next fix. That's to exist in the world of hunger. And so we have to be mindful also that the media wants you to covet, right? You want to get that new car, you want to get that new makeup. That's all well and good, but just be very, very cautious. One of the things that really came in the last couple of days in meditation is how media has been weaponized, and so we feel attacked. And there's a lot of different ways in which we get attacked in the media, whether it's being told we're not pretty enough, we're not smart enough, we're not rich enough. And then there's also the political campaign. So it's just very dangerous for our overall mental health. And it gets into you, it gets into me, and it impacts the way we treat each other. And so it's, one of the things we learn from fall and winter is to pull back our energy and to do more meditation work, more internal work, and to keep our own home in a good place, nurture yourself, listen to music that is spiritually uplifting to you in a spiritual cultural context that you can relate to. Like, for example, when I do energy healing, sometimes I like to listen to Snotnum Carr, Lorena McKennitt, but I have some patients that want to listen to smooth jazz while I'm giving them energy healing because smooth jazz is what they listen to when they're stressed out. So it helps them meditate and feel good. So find something that you can do every day that allows you to decompress. Deval Premel is excellent. Premel, I can never pronounce her name. She's great. I just feel it's too much. Getting attacked with China with fentanyl, dealing with Putin's now like, I got a new long-range nuclear weapon, a new toy, right, in the hands of a psychopath. It's too much negativity in the hands of people that we have no power over the situation other than, we vote, we try to be good, decent people. So the takeaway of the message from Spirit is you can't give people what you don't have. And if you feel like you're drained emotionally and physically, you probably are. Pull back, police what you watch, and be a little bit particularly if you're a trained remote viewer, psychic, healer, most of the people watching this channel, right? Artists, musicians, teachers. Our alone time is vital to our spiritual and mental health. Alone can also be in the comfort of your home with family and people you trust. There's something very comforting about not being exceptional, right? Being around just regular people and being a regular person. And there's a lot of pressure in the media. This is the other thing I don't like about the media. We got to be exceptional. We got to be, well, it's just more added pressure. Just be a good person and find your path in life and do your best and live, so I just wanted to get that out there because I've been meditating on it and I've been seeing more insular cultures lately, studies on more insular cultures. They have less stress. I'm not saying in the meditation that people should run from reality and go live like a Satmar Jew or a or a Amish in the middle of nowhere, but there is some truth to this idea that we do have to filter and protect the amount of stuff coming in. So say you give yourself a diet of 20 minutes of news a day, which is plenty to know what's going on in the world. You don't need to do more than that. Yeah. So that was the meditation. You will feel better. For example, some people have Shabbat, right? Orthodox Jews, and the electronics are turned off. They can't touch the computer for 24 or 25 hours. And a lot of people who are not Jewish have started to do that, where they've just turned everything off, gone to the country for 24 hours, no cell phone, nothing, just to experience. And the first day or two, you might have a problem with it, but eventually you get used to it. And then you start to, particularly if you're out in the country and you're not being disturbed and there's no cell phones or anything, and you turn everything off for 24 hours or whatnot, or 3 days. 3 days is when you really start to feel it. And then you come out of the woods, come out of that beautiful, wonderful energy, and you come back into the real world. And it's so jarring and traumatic that your first thought will be, get me back to the woods, right? So forest bathing is something to think about. Be in nature right now, meditate, enjoy your quiet time, and limit how much of that stuff. Because I feel like it's having such a destructive impact on us that it's starting to impact our internal belief systems and also the amount of compassion we can show ourselves and other people. I mean, one of the downsides of cable news is that it has hardened people. We don't care about it's not a big deal to hear that 500,000 Iraqi citizens died for no reason because the points of light, right, on CNN, right? So it's also desensitized us to some extent, I think. Okay. Well, I've gone back to sometimes I can be too much in the world, right? Where you can be too much in this world and not enough in doing your internal work. So I'm chanting more than I used to. I'm trying to chant a bit more, do some more meditation. But I think also as a remote viewer, you can get addicted. You can start this is what I do. You can obsess about the news and you're running around looking for something to spy on and you're like, I'm bored. I don't want to do that subject. I want to go find something. So you spend hours reading horrible news trying to find something to remote view, and you can fall into that trap if you're somebody who's like doing political tarot or yeah.